What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. So today, there's a saying, when it rains it pours. Kyle, you just seem to never catch a break. There's always issues here, always issues.
Well, I mean, it is a little bit of my own fault, but yes, it's an issue. Well, and now we have to fix it.
Let's get into it and see what is going on here, guys.
So when I set this up, I went off the basis of 18 inches above the ground. So this cap would be 18 inches above, so 1.5 feet. Well, the problem is once we got everything done, so we got the fencing up, we got the grass in, we put the crocodiles in, then I noticed something that wasn't to my liking, and that 18 inches went to roughly 13 inches. Now, that may be like, it's only 5 inches, no big deal. But it's me. So I've set, I mean, everything here has been, you know, hours and hours of just planning and thinking and brainstorming on why it is the way it is. So the reason I want to do 18 inches is just so there's a nice buffer between just, it's a visual barrier, so you don't, so they can kind of hide there, but also with babies. So if they do have babies there and there, they're not going to be able to easily hop out. And by the time they're big enough, they won't be able to slip through here. But yeah, so I didn't take into account the grass. Again, guys, there's so many decisions here. Sometimes I just can't keep up. And that's one of them, you know. And not only that is, I noticed with the other enclosures and also just ponds in general. So if you don't slope the enclosure towards the pond, what happens is when it rains, it'll create a pocket of water, and the crocodiles will wallow that out and wallow that out and wallow that out. So I want to deter that. So what I do is I slope all of it towards the pond, so anytime it rains, it drains to the pond. So between that and the grass, we lost 5 inches. Again, we are going off of the height of the pond. So that is correct. This is 18 inches above the pond. But again, with the slope and the grass, we lost it. Typical me, I was like, okay, no big deal. We'll just take the fence out, take the cap off, dig this up, pull the sheet pile up, because this is actually 4-foot sheet pile. So it's 2.5 feet in the ground and 18 inches up. So I was like, yeah, no big deal. We'll just pull it up. Problem is, it is a big deal. It really is, because to take this fence all the way out and then obviously pay to have it put back in, take the cap all the way off, take the top off, take the sides off, take the all thread off, these giant bolts that really make it hurricane proof, and then again with me, I had them silicone it so there's no water intrusion between it, because again, the sheet pile, they couple together like that, but there's still a gap for the water to flow through. So
you pretty much made it unmovable.
Yeah.
And then asked them to move it.
Yes, I made it to where they were done, and then I'm like, let's actually move it. But I'm proud of myself, I think, in that I'm like, okay, let's just leave this one. It's not too late for the others though.
Yeah, so that's what you got them taking apart everything to say, hey, raise it up again for me.
Yes. So that's the goal too, is to allow these crocodiles to rear their own young. And obviously this is, I'm not comfortable with the height of this. If they do have offspring in here, what I could do is, you see that cap there? I could just do an overhang over that to allow it, and then just put something over this too. So there's ways that if it really comes to that they're going to produce offspring here and we want to leave them in here, that we can make this work. Because these guys, and these gals actually, I mean, climb up on this no problem when they're hungry. Luckily, you know, they're pretty chill. They got a ton of jumbo rats, so they are very happy. And we will definitely be doing a video on feeding very soon.
Because they didn't make it so easy on you, did they?
Feeding? Yeah. Feeding was easy. Feeding was easy. There was a piece of plastic, a piece of fencing, like loop on the corner, and I went to grab it, and I grabbed it, and one swung at me, and then it was just like a cue for everybody to just like, it was like that scene in World War Z when they were all climbing that giant wall. that was the Niles. That was these gals, you know, when you're dealing with 14 of them. So I want to get in there and mitigate that. So that'll be an awesome episode too, to try to work past it and at least give them, earn my respect essentially with these gals, because they do not care. Anything that moves in here is food to them, besides each other. But going back to the issue, we have the space with the sheet pile. Like I said, it's 2.5 foot in the ground, 18 inches above. So all we do is lift it up. Then we're gonna have 2 foot up, 2 foot down, which is more than enough. These are bigger crocs, so this will be Cubans, that'll be Americans. And then if we lift that up, then it more comfort for if they do ever rear their own young, then they're not gonna get out that much more.
And I know people are thinking, what are those?
Oh yeah, what are those?
You wanna tell them, or is that gonna be a surprise?
No,
I know what they are.
No,
but...
I mean, we got enough surprises.
Okay.
Over there, right there.
Over.
Right there.
I wonder.
This heap of grass.
What is that gonna be? Well, we can't say, huh? Can't say.
Yeah, what is this?
Well, tell them what this is.
So this is gonna be a feeding platform. So for us, with me being biosecure Nightmare Kyle, I can just easily walk out to the feeding platform like the new enclosures and feed them. And it's great enrichment, so we can hang over the water. They can launch out of the water with the 6 foot deep ponds. It's all about getting them to do what they do in the wild, especially Cubans. I mean, they're always jumping and stuff. So it'd be great for the Cubans to be jumping like this, great exercise and biosecurity. So I can easily do it from pond to pond to pond and not have to worry about, oh, I went in this one and I went in this one and I went in this one. So that's gonna be a walkway. So what's nice too is we're just gonna lift this up and then it's just gonna be a straight shot, because we're actually gonna have this higher and have to have stairs. But now it's gonna be right on the cap and then walk straight out. That was gonna be a planter, but I'm not sure about that. That really goes against all the naturalistic look. I mean, obviously there is very artificial looking stuff, but just with the cap and everything. But you can see we kind of designed everything to look as natural as possible, with the tan, with the brown bumpers, and the cap. Also, guys, by the way, these bumpers are incredible. Like with those Niles, like that's what's so cool is like now we're seeing all this stuff in action and seeing how it's getting used, and it's absolutely perfect because when it's wet, it's ultra slick, so the crocodiles just slide over it. You see, it's tough, but it's also a little bit malleable, so it's never gonna hurt them. So this will give long before it can hurt them, and they can get up on it easily. I honestly, guys, this is one of the besides the sheep pile, one of the I guess items that we've added in here that I really love the most, because again, it is so functional for the crocodiles. They can get out easy, it doesn't hurt them, it's bendy a little bit. It's exactly what I was looking for. And that's what's cool is I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for, and to find a product out there that's already fits that mold exactly, because as you guys see, I need something that fits exactly. That's it. So I'm very happy with this. So another really cool feature about these ponds, since we're here, might as well go over it, is the warm water feed line comes in here, but I also was wondering how to get warm water over there, warm water over here, and not be too close to the shallow section, because if you dump water right there, they'll think it's a water source and they'll dig right there, which we don't want them to dig in the shallow section. We know they're going to, but we want to deter it as much as possible. So to have water flowing right over the shallow section, they're gonna dig it up. So we ran it just outside, and then there's a 45-degree angle into the shallow section and a 45-degree angle out into the deep area. So it'll be a great flow with the water because it'll go in one side of the shallow section and out the other. So really clean that out, and then obviously flow into the deep section and keep that warm. Well, this is kind of a sad moment because this was all very pretty for a while, probably over a month, just like this. It actually had the top cap on it too. So we've taken all the screws out, all the all thread out, but again, it's much better to do it now, as we saw with those small enclosures, much better to do it now without the fence on it, without siliconing it, than to wait a little bit. So as you can see, the side caps are off, these side caps are going off, and then we're gonna come down. But guys, actually, it's not gonna take too long. Well, hopefully, we'll see how long it takes to pop them up. But we should have all the cap lifted in a day. So we just gotta put the wood caps back on, top cap on, and then we're done. But hey, since we're here, let's check out the Cubans. There was a Cuban in here.
There was.
There was, right there. I swear.
You can even see the marks.
You can see the marks.
But where'd your Cubans go?
Wherever the heck they want to. They're Cubans.
Oh, here's one.
Yeah. So this is, look at her, she was so relaxed. She's like, okay, food mode. So I really don't know what I'm gonna do enclosure-wise yet for these guys. As I've said before with all my projects, sometimes I just can't keep up. And this is definitely not a priority. You know, we have the 10 to finish, we have the 4 to finish, we have 7 more, 12 more back there, and then these guys. These guys are more hurricane proof, so I'm not too worried about it. But the question is how far we're gonna go with this. We're gonna do all sheet pile, because the enclosure is beautiful right now. I mean, the foliage has really grown in. I mean, this is a more mature enclosure. And that's what's cool about the Cubans is, you know, it's much like a swamp in their enclosure. But is it the ideal enclosure for them? I don't know. That's what we're gonna find out. So obviously, gonna take time with this, design it, and then obviously everything has to work around the big secret thing that we're doing over here. All right, guys, well, that wraps up a very unfortunate episode.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a headache for, I would say, Carlos and some of the construction guys, but it's gonna pay off in the end, because it's gonna be much, much better. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Patreon at Perimeter Predators, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.